Hello everyone, in this video I will be unboxing, configuring, installing and reviewing the Thinkware Dashcam Q800 Pro. I just got this camera and it has nice features. It's 1440p QHD Sony Exmor R-Star with sensors, Umbrella A12 CPU, integrated GPS, Wi-Fi, 140 degrees angle, and it has applications for Android, iOS and for Windows and Mac, and it can take a memory card, a micro SD memory card up to 128 gigabyte. This is the main camera. It feels well made and it's small. It will install like this. Here you can put the micro SD card. It has a reset button here, and these are the buttons, the operations button. This is the on-off, microphone on-off to format the camera, and this is for the Wi-Fi. And this big button here is to hold a record in an emergency situation. Here it has a micro USB input, and this is a DC in. This is where you put the rear camera cable. This is the mount, the windshield mount. It has a 3M tape. A user manual in many languages. Customer service information card. And a Thinkware cloud card. This is a cable to connect the camera, the front camera, to the rear camera. So it's not very thick. It's a long cable. This is a rear camera. It's a tiny small camera, also adjustable. And this is where it sticks on the windshield like this. This kit comes with a hardwiring kit. Hardwiring cable, excuse me. So this is a ground cable, and this is a battery cable. This one is the accessory cable. So this should go into a permanent power source, and this should go to an accessory power source, and this is a ground. It also comes with a 12-volt car charger. And a micro USB reader. This is to plug it into PC so that you can read the micro SD card in case you don't have a micro SD reader in your PC. It also comes with a micro SD card from Thinkware. This is a 32 gig card. Some additional cable guides, also with 3M tape on them. So it also comes with an additional mounting tape. What's a bit weird that there's additional mounting tape for the main camera, but there's no additional mounting tape for the rear camera. To be able to install this camera, I'll be needing a few strapping cables. They are not provided in this box.
To change the camera settings from the PC without using the Wi-Fi, insert the micro SD card that is formatted in the camera into the USB reader and insert the USB reader into your PC. You need to open the Thinkware Dashcam PC Viewer application. Go to Settings, Dashcam Settings. So here you have the settings that you can configure on your dashcam. Let's start with memory card settings. You have the memory partition. This way the dashcam knows to which partition it will allocate more space on the micro SD card. So it has an algorithm and it has all these priorities. So if you want the continuous priority, it means that if you chose continuous priority, the videos that are recorded in other partitions will be deleted before the continuous priority, and the camera will allocate about 60% of the memory for the continuous priority. You have other priorities: incident priority, parking, and manual. I chose parking priority because this way the camera will allocate about 53% for the continuous priority and about 10% for the parking priority, and it will divide the rest between the incident and the manual priority. Manual, it means lock file priority. If you need to format the memory card, you can format it here and then overwrite videos, and this here you choose which videos you want to overwrite when the memory card is full. I chose everything, and it will start, of course, it will leave the priority for the last. Camera settings. For the brightness, front and rear, this is equivalent to exposure value. I kept it on mid, which is I don't want to overexpose the recording and I don't want to underexpose the recording. I kept it on mid. I rotate rear camera. It is disabled because I installed the rear camera in the right direction. This is in case by mistake you install the rear camera in the upside down, or in case you have like cabling constraints and you have to install it upside down. You can just rotate the rear camera and it will work like this. Record settings. Continuous mode incident recording sensitivity. So I have the camera for about 3 days now, and I tested with these settings. I tested the low and the lowest. In the low setting, each bump almost that I hit on the road or each pothole, it will trigger the manual recording. Manual recording, it means it locks the file. So I put it on lowest and I tried it today. It was good. I kept it on lowest. Super night vision, you have 4 options: disabled, continuous mode, that is in the continuous mode recording, or in the parking mode, or both parking and continuous. I put them both, continuous and parking. Parking mode settings, I chose motion detection simply because in time lapse it doesn't record audio, and in energy saving it doesn't do a buffered recording. So I chose motion detection, which covers motion and it covers also the impact. So I chose the impact sensitivity in parking mode to medium, and the motion detection sensitivity, I chose it to be lowest because I don't want to like everything move, like if there's wind or the tree leaves moves and everything. I don't want the camera to keep recording on this. So I chose the lowest, which means that when someone comes close to the car, it will start recording. Record timer 48 hours. You have many options up to 72 hours. I chose to put it on 2 days. And the battery protection, of course, I kept it on enabled, and I chose 12.1. 24 volt, it doesn't apply to me because I have a sedan. I have a Legacy, Subaru Legacy. And I chose wintertime battery protection because I live in Montreal, Quebec, which becomes very cold in winter, and the temperature is always below freezing temperatures during these months, November, December, January, February, and March. When you choose these months, the protection voltage automatically is increased by 0.2. So the battery, the recording will cut off on 12.3 volts. Road safety settings. This is also a cause for me to purchase this camera. So I purchased this camera for 3 reasons. The first reason is for the parking monitor abilities of this camera. The second reason is because of the red light and speed cameras alerts. And the third reason is because of the ADAS features, because my car doesn't have ADAS. So safety cameras here, and this is the second reason I talked about. Safety cameras is enabled, so it will alert you if there's safety cameras installed, and the mobile zone alert also, it will alert you. So this is a file that you have to upload or download regularly from Thinkware. You can do it through the mobile app. Vehicle type sedan. If you have other than sedan, you can choose SUV or truck, which is a big car, big bus. Here, initialize ADAS. The first time you purchase a camera, you have to click on initialize ADAS, and it will initialize it. And I've done this before when I got the camera. And for 2 days, it didn't give me any forward collision warning. Up until today, it started giving me forward collision warning. So I guess it takes time to initialize. Lane departure warning setting. I chose it on low, and I chose that it will be triggered only on 100 kilometers per hour or more, which is equivalent to 60 miles per hour. This is because I wanted only on the highway speeds. And you have to know that the lane departure warning, because the camera is not connected to the car's OBD2 and it doesn't know what the car is doing, even if you put your blinker on, it will always beep. So this is why I put it on the highway speed only. Forward collision warning, I put the sensitivity on mid because on low it wasn't giving me any warnings. On mid today it started giving me warnings. This is a setting that I will be trying for these couple of days to find the best setting. Low speed forward collision warning also on mid. And front vehicle departure warning, for now I kept it on enabled. System settings, language is English. You have many languages. Volume, I put it on 3 because I tried 1 and 2, and when I have my windows open, from the wind noise I couldn't hear the camera anymore. So if there were alerts like red light alerts, camera red light alerts, I won't hear them. So I put it on 3. It's a bit loud, but it's okay. Security LED, you have many options, and this is security LED for the front camera. You have left, right. The front camera has 3 white LEDs on the front. If you put it left, right, of course it will blink left and right. Blink, all 3 of them will blink together, and random, it will blink randomly. Either left, either right, or all the 3 together. I tried blink, and it was really very bright at night. So I removed it. And when you put this, when you enable this, any setting, and you choose to enable the rear camera LED, it blinks. But if you disable this and you enable the rear camera LED, it will stay on all the time. So I disabled it too. Time zone, it's -5 because I'm in Montreal. Daylight saving, it's enabled. Speed unit, kilometers per hour. Speed stamp, I chose not to put it. Voice recording, it's always enabled. Network functions, for now I didn't enable them. I will enable them later maybe. The network functions are the cloud functions here. So when you enable them, you have to use your data on your cell phone. So these are the settings, the main settings for the camera. And there are many other settings here. If you go through them quickly, you have first dashcam info. So you see here it's Q800 PRO. The firmware version is the latest one, 32 gig memory card. And the safety camera version, this is a safety camera that you download from Thinkware's site. So you see here it's 10 June 2019 and today we are 17 June 2019, so they are new. Language, you have many languages. I think when you change the language here, also the camera language, it will start speaking or talking in this language. Speed unit, kilometer per hour. This is a shortcut because I have it also in dashcam settings. And play front and rear views. So this was an overview of the camera settings. To install the rear camera, you need to clean the rear window with rubbing alcohol. Remove the 3M protection tape. And make sure the Thinkware logo is facing inward inside the car. Align the camera exactly at the center and don't install it on the wires, whether they are the heating wires or the satellite antenna wire. Put the cable in and tuck the cable in the headliner. Here I am tucking the cable in the headliner. It's very easy with your hands. And then I removed the C-pillar protection. It's also easy, just have to pull on it. I found some cables, so I put the camera cable with these cables with electric tape, and then I ran the cable on the door sills. I didn't want to run the cable in the headliner to avoid touching the airbags as much as possible. So I'm running the cable and the door sills. It's also easy. You have to remove the door sills protection, and then there's a wide place where you can run the cable. As you see here, the cable are on it. There are plastic holders, I think, and then I just tuck the cable underneath these plastic holders. Now this is the front part of the car. I removed the front foot protection and then I ran the cable along the door. I removed the weather trim. And then I put back the front foot protection. The A-pillar also is very easy. It doesn't remove completely because it's connected to something to hold it in case of an accident and an airbag deployment. Here there's an airbag, so you should be very careful and run the cable behind the airbag and never in front of the airbag. I ran the cable here and I zip tied it to existing cables. Then of course I cut off the excess zip tie. And then I ran the rear camera cable in the headliner towards the center of the windshield. Here I'm putting back the C-pillar protection and the weather trim. Make sure that the seat belt is working right. In order for the cable not to rattle, I zip tied it also. And here there's also a holder for the cable, so I just opened it and I tucked the cable in the holder. To install the front camera, first of all, of course, remove the camera and attach the mounting plate on it. Then clean the windshield. The camera should be in the center, of course, so it will be a little bit on the right because the camera of Thinkware is not in the middle of it, of the device. As you see, it's on the left. I carefully here put the camera on the windshield, and I went out to see if it's centered, and it was centered. Remove the camera, and I also put some pressure on the mounting so that it sticks very good on the windshield. Now I attach the power, this is a power cable, yes, to the front camera. This is a hardwire cable that came with the camera. So I also tucked it behind the headliner carefully. So you see two cables. This is the rear camera cable tucked in already, and now I'm tucking the hardwire. I put the two cables together and I adjusted them with the cable guides provided. The cable guides unfortunately are small, so that they cannot hold two cables. I had to zip tie the cable together, and I cut the excess of the zip tie, of course. Here it is close up. Now for the hardwire cable, I removed the protection from the side of the dashboard. It's easy to remove. I just pried it open, and now I'm reinstalling the weather trim and the A-pillar after I zip tied the hardwire and the rear camera cable behind the airbag with the existing cables. This is the fuse box schema, and these are the fuse boxes. So I have to choose two fuses to tap on. One fuse, and this one is always on, so the car was off, and this is the ground. Here I put it on the ground on a screw that was already there. This is the fuse tap cable, the one for the permanent and the one for the accessory. And this is the final installation. So the one which is above, which is the accessory, and the one which is below, that is the one for the permanent. This is a video quality during the day. This is a sunny day. There's a little bit of glare, but it's okay, it's visible, and you see when the lights change, the camera adapts quickly. It's a very good video quality. This is the rear cam video quality during the day. It's also very good. During the night, with Night Vision 2.0, Super Night Vision 2.0 activated, the video quality is good too. This is a well-lit street, and you can clearly see that the camera is really shooting a good video quality. This is a video quality during the night on the highway also. So the road signs are red, you can read them. The license plate of the cars in front are a little bit washed out. You have to get really close to the car in order to read the license plate, but it's okay because almost all the cameras are like this at night, the good quality cameras. This is the rear window, rear camera at night on the highway. It was raining a little bit, so you see a little droplets on the rear window. The quality is good too. And here I'm testing the ADAS. This is a forward vehicle departure warning, front vehicle departure warning, excuse me, and the front collision warning at low speed. The front collision warning doesn't work really good. It gives false alarms. Here I tried to activate it and it didn't activate, as you saw. This is a high-speed front collision warning. For the parking mode, I had the motion detection, and this is the rear parking mode. You see the car is passing, but the camera recorded 10 seconds before the car passed. So it's working great. And this is the front parking mode also. This is a busy parking, so the camera was recording. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.